Hello everybody, it's me, Rabbit Waffles, and I know I've been lacking on the consistency of my video uploads, which I'm going to try to fix. I'm going to try to upload regularly and consistently. And today I decided to review all the Child's Play movies because I've already reviewed all the Jason movies and all the Freddy Krueger movies, so I thought I might as well get to Chucky. So Child's Play 1 starts off with a serial killer named Charles Lee Ray, and he's running away from the cops. He doesn't get to this getaway car because the getaway driver drives away, and he runs into this store, and he uses voodoo to put his soul into the body of a doll. Then it cuts to a boy named Andy who is at home watching his Child's Play shows and looking at his Child's Play toys, having a good old gay time because it's his B-day. And he goes and he makes his mother breakfast, and he is god-awful at making breakfast, I'll tell you that. Then Andy's mommy goes out and gets him the doll he wants by a shady homeless man, which is the best business decision you'll ever make. And she gives him the doll, and oopsie daisy, the doll's possessed by a serial killer. Maybe you shouldn't buy your dolls from homeless people, just an idea. So Charlie, are you there? Keeps killing people and doing all kinds of bad, naughty things, and everyone thinks it's Andy Broccoli doing it, but the mommy knows it ain't no Andy Broccoli, and the mommy starts to get suspicious of the doll, and then the mommy finds out that the doll actually is evil, and she goes like, "Oh my god!" Then the mommy teams up with the pig, and Andy throws Chucky in the fireplace, and then Chucky's like, "But we're friends till the end," and then Andy's like, "This is the end, friend." And then he Kentucky fries Chucky. Oh, it's all great. But then they realize that mother chucker's still alive, and they gotta kill him still, and he's all covered, and he's like burnt to a crisp, and then they shoot him a couple times until he's all dead. 100% dead. Definitely won't come back. So I thought Child's Play was a really good movie. I wouldn't say it's not nearly close to being the best Child's Play in my opinion. There are lots of Child's Plays I like way more than the original, but it's still a really good movie. But it's really slow, and at times it is pretty boring, and I have to admit every time I watch it I fast forward a few of the scenes because they're kind of pointless and everything. So that leads us on to Child's Play 2, which is probably my favorite Chucky movie because it's so good. So in part 2, Andy's in like foster care. You're gonna get like a new mommy and daddy because his mommy people think is cuckoo. So I think she's in an insane asylum, I'm pretty sure. And Chucky's rebuilt for God knows what reason. They say it's just because they want to see if there's anything really wrong with the doll, but if you remade the entire doll's body, how would you know if there's actually anything wrong with the doll? It doesn't make any sense. And was there no longer any blood on the doll? And that doesn't make any sense. Did all the blood disappear? Did all of his organs that were inside of the doll's body disappear? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It confuses me so bad. Also, does anyone else think it's funny that the character's name is Andy, and it's a living toy that's after him, and it's called Good Guy Dolls, and the song Can't Keep a Good Guy Down is in Toy Story, and then there's the kid Andy in Toy Story, and then there's living toys in Toy Story. I think that's funny. I just wanted to mention that in this video. Also, there's a line in this movie I like where Chucky pulls on the guy's leg so he falls down the stairs, and while he's hanging by his foot, Chucky goes, "How's it hanging, Phil?" I thought that was funny. Chucky's a funny boy. I love Chucky. But then the movie ends with the girl who's Andy's new sis, and then Andy, they're running from Chucky in the store, and Chucky's after Andy trying to possess him, but it's too late, and so Chucky gets mad and just decides he wants to kill Andy and the girl, and they cut off his hand, so he gets this new knife hand, which makes me think of Evil Dead for some reason, because you know Evil Dead's got the chainsaw hand, and Chucky's after him, and this movie has like 3 different Chucky kills. It's amazing, man. Like first, you think he's dead because they put him in this machine, but he just loses his legs. So then Andy pours this like burning liquid on Chucky, and it melts Chucky's flesh, but Chucky's still alive. And then they put this tube in Chucky's mouth, and then Chucky's head gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it blows up. So that was like 3 different Chucky deaths. It was pretty freaking awesome. I thought that was amazing. I love that. So Child's Play 2 is probably my favorite of the Chucky movies because like it's like the funnest one. It's funny and it's scary. Like it's like 50% spooks, 50% laughs. I love it. It's a good movie. And Chucky's line delivery in this movie is mwah! Love this movie. So now let's talk about Full Metal Chucky. Child's Play 3 is a pretty good movie. And everyone says it's bad for literally no reason. People are like, oh, well, it's got army people, so you know it's not a good Chucky movie. And you know what? Screw you, it's an amazing Chucky movie. It was entertaining. The kills were decent. And the acting was probably the best in this one. This one I like the best acting out of all of them. And this was a good movie, and I liked it. Now, Andy's in the Army or Air Force or something or other. Yeah, I think it's like the Army or something. And, you know, he's going to become a good old American hero, you know? And, but Chucky, he has different plans. He wants to possess Andy once again, but then like halfway through the movie he's like, oh wait, I don't need to possess Andy anymore. He wasn't the first person who saw me. And he's like, wait a minute, the first person who saw me was this little black kid. I'll possess the little black kid. And I get so freaking confused in these movies, because why the heck would he want to take the body of a child? It's dumb. He's got to like live with going to school every day and having to do all of these children stuff. When he's a doll, he can do whatever he wants. He can go anywhere. Nobody would suspect the doll. He can go whatever. He's already got it made. But instead, no. He's got to be after little kids all the time. God, that sounded creepier than I thought. Now, Bride of Chucky was the boringest of all of the Chucky movies. It was so freaking boring. Bored me to tears. And the acting is and the characters are and the plot is Now, the beginning I thought was pretty cool. Introducing Jennifer Tilly. I think Jennifer Tilly's one of my favorite actresses. That was pretty cool. It had a good beginning. There was references to other horror movies. And then, like, the build-up to the Chucky reveal was pretty cool. The Voodoo for Dummies thing made me laugh. You know, it was a good beginning. But after the rest of the movie was boring. I didn't like any of it. Other than, like, the scene where Chucky's, like, Chucky killing, that's good. But the rest is just boring, and I didn't care about these other characters they were introducing. It didn't matter to me. This movie introduced this really annoying couple who I didn't care about whatsoever, and they kept trying to make me invested in them, and I couldn't. They were annoying and always accusing each other of murder, and they were nagging, and I hated it. I didn't like it. Now, this movie tried to be both funny and scary, and it wasn't nearly as funny as the other funny Chuckies, and it wasn't nearly as scary as the other scary Chuckies. It wasn't that good. Now, Seed of Chucky's another one that a lot of people crapped on, but I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was really funny. I don't know what you people problem with it is. The only thing that bugged me about it were all the freaking plot holes, because there were like 50,000 million plot holes in this, and it didn't make any sense. So I guess Chucky and Tiff had a kid, and that kid is like both man and woman because it got no private parts, and and he acts like a man and a woman, and he's always peeing his pants, which I don't get. How do you pee your pants if you don't have private parts? See, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But Chucky and Tiff are both always arguing about whether or not he's gonna be a boy or a girl, and whether or not he should be a killer or be a good boy. And there's all these problems, and Chucky gets sick of it. and the family turns against Chucky and acts like Chucky's the bad guy, and all these problems arise. Also, something great about this movie, you get to see Chucky's sperm, and you get to see Tiffany's doll tits. You know, amazing. Didn't you? Oh, I always wanted to see that stuff. And, you know me, I love that sexual stuff. You know, I think it's so great. Definitely no biological problems with me whatsoever. Love the sex. Also, there's this really weird plot hole where, like, the joke is that they're made in Japan symbols on their wrists are like birthmarks, but it doesn't even make sense because the Chucky doll wasn't even made in Japan, it was made in America, and not only that, but they didn't have it since birth, so it's not a birthmark. Now, Curse of Chucky tries to bring Chucky back to his spooky booky roots. And, I mean, it does a pretty good job. It's a really good movie. It's suspenseful, and it has my sweet angel Alex DeLarge in it. Yeah, it has that amazing angel of a boy. He got old, but he's still that angsty teenager I know. Also, according to this movie, Alex DeLarge is a priest now, which entirely ruins the ending of A Clockwork Orange, but I'm just glad to know the old farts, actually, never mind, he dies. I hate this movie. Also, I didn't realize this until I watched this movie, but in every Chucky movie, in the beginning, he looks just like a regular doll, but by the end, he looks just like a midget human. Like, he turns more and more human on the outside, and at first, when I was watching these movies, I thought it was just like the inside, like he was getting real organs, but no, like, he actually looks more human. Like, instead of just the line eyebrows, eventually he grows, like, real eyebrows, and the inside of his mouth isn't always like that toy tongue and everything. He actually gets real teeth and real tongue. It's actually really cool. Now, the title of Cult of Chucky was the most misleading title I've ever seen since Jason Goes to Hell. And I'm still sad that I still don't get to see Jason actually explore hell in that movie. Don't even bring it up to me. It was so disappointing. Now, in this movie, it's called Call of Chucky, but there is no cult. There is 0 cults. There's just multiple Chuckies. Why would you call it Cult of Chucky? Why wouldn't you just call, like, the Army of Chuckies, or, like, Chucky times a million? I don't know what you'd call it, but it's not about a cult. Also, the dolls, all the Chucky dolls in this movie look god-awful. I don't know what happened, but this is unacceptable. These dolls look stupid. They don't look anything like actual, like, dolls. They look freaking like goblins or something. They don't look like people. I don't know what the heck's wrong with these dolls. They look horrible. Now, that's my review, and you might be a little bit upset because I didn't really review the videos. I just sort of pointed out stuff, and that was kind of it. But, you know, this is my channel. I make what I want to make. Screw off.